We are supremely black. We are Flake, Rose, and Spears, dropping content that matters. How y'all doing this week, fellas?
Man, it's your big kinfolk, J.Flake, man. I am in between O and K. That's where I'm at right now. So it's kind of fun. We recorded the topic that we had last episode, and I just been down in the dumps the last couple of weeks. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I said, just been between O and K. It's been I ain't been really want to do nothing but get on stage, tell jokes. I ain't really been want to do nothing else. I've been forcing myself to do anything else outside of getting on stage and telling jokes. I not even gonna lie. I really just been forcing myself to do stuff. I really ain't been feeling like doing nothing, not a thing. I don't know what it is, but I got to get that monkey up out my back for sure. Um, Even my wife had said the other day, she was like, first of all, I noticed I snapped off on her a couple times for no reason. I don't even know what we was talking about. And I just snapped off for a couple times for no reason. And then she made the statement the other day, like, you know what, you ain't even kissed me the last 4 days. I ain't even realized. I was just like, you know what, you right. I ain't even realized I hadn't even shown no affection, no nothing. I just been just here. Except when I hit the stage. Outside of that, I just been here. That's been about it. I'm about to figure some way up out of it. I don't know what it is, but yeah. But that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Gotcha. But outside of the kiss your wife, you know you got to do that. But could it be, if you're looking at it from like a work perspective, you just focused on what your true passion is and the rest of it just don't catch your attention no more?
No, I don't even think it's that. It never really affected me from just being hype and clowning around the house and cutting up. Like I ain't really been doing nothing that. I just been here. I ain't really been doing no cutting up, no clowning around too much. A little bit here and there, but not as much as I used to do. And I ain't really been watching. I ain't watched no TV, nothing. All the groups we've been in, you see my response, and even our group, my response will be hella late. I ain't looking at my phone. If you don't text or call, I ain't even been in the group chats. Nothing. I might check it once or twice a day and pop in, say something, and be out. That's it.
I got you. Well, if you need to talk, holler at me. We'll take it off air. But as far as my week, it's been super straight. Honestly, there's no complaints. Just kind of balancing out everything. I guess enjoying some of this cool weather. That has been dope since you ain't got to worry about taking 15 showers in Houston. That's been straight. The family good. On a positive note, I know we got the information sitting in to get the 501(c) process, right, Chris? So we good on that. That's about it, man. Outside of that, everything been pretty chill. Oh yeah, and just to be on the lookout, another positive thing that was taken care of. Flake will be pushing out some shirts with a very unique idea. We ain't gonna mention it on here because I want nobody to get it, but just stay in the loop. We'll be putting it on our podcast and getting it on Facebook as well. Well, Instagram, Facebook as well when the shirts do go out for sale. But it's a pretty clever idea. I think people are gonna eat it and love it and purchase a lot of them. So we'll get that to you as soon as we have them available. But I ain't gonna mention it yet. I don't want nobody to steal our swag right now. But yeah, it's been a cool week, man.
It's a new idea, the one that we talked about months ago.
Oh, no, this is a newer idea, but the other one, depending on how this go, that's gonna be a move too. So we'll put you in the loop and you can holler at Flake if you want to, get some little business going with that one. But I think this one gonna be that one, and then we're gonna make some more stuff happen with that. For real.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
As for me, my week, if from the last time we recorded that week, I got hit with some news. So one of the young men I used to mentor got murdered or whatnot. So that hit hard and it hurt. And he was one of the boys, actually all the boys that I mentored, like I drew a liking to and they drew a liking to me, and they was like my little bros, or like, an adopted family member or whatnot, nephew, bro, son, whatever you want to call it or whatnot. And so like to hear that he is no longer here, it really fucked with me the first couple of days or whatnot. And I was literally like blaming myself because I literally had moved to Houston, and that's why I stopped mentoring them or whatnot. So it's like, if I would have just stayed here, I could have stayed in that ear, stayed around, kept them out of trouble. So that's hard to deal with or hard to handle. But then this week, go forward to Sunday to now, this week is good. It's smooth. Getting back in I went back to work last week, getting back in the groove or whatnot and all that other stuff. So, like Flake a little though, I am at the point, and I can pinpoint it because right now it sounds like Flake really don't know what's going on. But for me, I can pinpoint, I'm just tired of living a life that's not fulfilling my purpose. So I'm at the point where, like, I'm fed up with doing certain shit that ain't going towards my purpose. So yeah, that I will say I talked to Eric. He texted me. We was texting last week. We actually talk every week after he listened to the podcast. We reach out, talk. But we had a great conversation last week and was talking about purpose and stuff and everything. So shout out to you, Eric. Salute to you. I appreciate you for just having that dialogue and that conversation with me, and also for your prayers afterwards that I requested or whatnot, and just going to bat for me in the spiritual warfare versus just the physical, and being there as a brother. So I appreciate you and salute to you. But other than that, I've been straight. I mean, yeah, I've been straight, just trying to maintain, trying to handle things. So, and I'm just gonna dive right into it. So, with what I said happened to one of my mentees or whatnot, the topic that I wanted to talk about, or I wanted to discuss this week, was changing the narrative. So not only what I seen or what happened with my mentee, and since I'm not dropping his name, I could tell some of the backstory. He wanted to choose the streets. He wanted to be a cool kid and be down, and he wanted to do some stuff that he really had no business doing. He knew better doing. I told them my backstory and all this other stuff. So like, I mean, and when I mentored them, I was transparent. I was open. Like I told them, like, nobody want to get shot twice. Nobody wants to be laying in the bed with bullet holes. Like that's not what it is. But again, we, for some reason, still choose certain narratives to live or to follow as Black people. So that's one of the reasons why I want to talk about this discussion. But the other reason why I want to talk about this is because I was doing a workout. And when I was doing a workout with my cousin, we walking back to his apartment, and you just see some Black folk stuff. So I see a guy and a girl in their car. The female got on a bonnet, looked like she ain't brushed her teeth, in a jacket or whatnot, but got a whole bottle of liquor in her lap, talking, how we talk or whatever, talking reckless and whatever. And it's like, I don't mind if you drink, that's your prerogative. You can do whatever you want to do. But why don't we present ourselves better when, if we're going to the club or if we're doing something like this, we're going to be A1. We're going to be all of this stuff. But why, when it's just us or whatever, why do we look like we can't, like, we don't got no home training, or we don't know no better. Like, to be, I don't know. It's just certain things are starting to aggravate me more and more. So I would just like to talk about changing the narrative and progressing us in the stance or to the point to where we aren't doing some of the things that we used to do because we know better, not for nobody else but ourselves, because we have a last name to represent, because we got brothers and sisters, mamas and daddies, aunts and uncles, grandparents to represent and to uphold. So that's what I want to talk about. So y'all could dive in off of anything that I said, and then we could go into some questions and stuff.
All right, I got you. I just think, you know, I'm gonna speak from my perspective so it doesn't come across as judgy, because I just know how real this topic can get. But I think it's just knowing that to change the narrative and change your mindset is just being around or letting people know that may not be moving the same way you are, instead of, you know, judging them for where they're currently at. Tell them or show them of what it's like to be on the other side, whether, you know, however that really looks for you and the people that's around you. So I think a lot of times, and me and Flake have talked about this a lot, it's just like, you know, coming up, the people that had this view of what you were going to do, whether it was from the people you hung around or how you may have carried yourself before you really got to understand your purpose a little more, just, you know, something as simple as just maturing. People are just so judgy. They don't really give you the opportunity to really grow into that other lens. So it's like, this is what you expect from me so much. And I get so tired of pushing against this door, trying to open this door to get in with the people that everybody brags about, everybody talks about as the highlight of their family. But it comes across as just like, you will never be a part of us. And for myself, that was a challenge, because you have to have people that are truthfully going to love you and say, bro, you can accomplish this. You really can do this. But even more, the people that I was around, they made doing the right thing look cool. You feel what I'm saying? So they no longer even glorified the ignorance, like, at all. Like, look, bro, you tripping. Like, we don't go to the club. We don't move like this. We don't talk to women like this. Pull your pants up. You know what I'm saying? Get you a job. Get out the streets. Leave this alone. But you have to have people that are truthfully wanting to see you in that light. But more importantly, you have to say for yourself that I won't change. I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to be as everybody else is. You know what I'm saying? So it's two sides of it. It's a lot of who's really supporting you and not letting the outside energy block your blessing, but deeper inside for yourself, you have to change that narrative. Like, you have to say, okay, I've seen so-and-so go to jail, end up dead, or just a bum living, you know what I'm saying? Just not being at their full purpose. That ain't cool. But you have to change that for yourself. Like, it's hard to say, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's solely upon you. But after that, you just have to be around those people that's gonna keep you in line with what your purpose is and hold you accountable to when you slacking up or you messing up. Hey, bro, this ain't how we move. Or hey, sis, this ain't how we move. But you got to take that on the chin sometimes too, because it ain't always people around you. It's just be a better version of yourself. Challenge yourself. Don't just go to the norm because it's easy or everybody expects you to do so.
Yeah, I agree with a lot D-Rose said. I'm gonna add on to that by making a statement that a lot of people go their route or act that way due to trauma within their life, previous traumas they had going on, family traumas. You'll find out that a lot of people have some insecurities to even try to make an attempt to do better, that they would think that they don't have the capabilities to even do better because of previous traumas of maybe what has been happening in their family, or they tried their best to do something and somebody made them feel stupid or made them feel beneath what they really are. So when you get to pulling, the layers of the onion back, you get to finding out those insecurities, and maybe they wanted to be, an artist or a chef one day, and someone shot that down and was like, "Boy, you can't do nothing like that." A girl, you just dreaming. We don't come from that. Ain't no way we can do that. All you got out here is these streets, and all that other stuff is fairy tales for other people. So you do see that, and once you do talk to people, you do realize that those traumas do exist. There are things that they've never spoken about that they've just been holding on to, that's holding them back from making that next step or making that next leap in life and being all that they possibly can be to turn their life around or whatnot. I mean, it can happen, but like I said, some people deal with those traumas a lot of times, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this, especially anybody who's mentor with somebody. You give them that belief that they can, and then a change can be made. But you gotta, really believe in that person and really push that person and really check on that person. Because, like I said, a lot of people got insecurities. It only take like one mistake for their trust or their belief to be shattered, just like that.
No, I mean, I agree with both of y'all are saying. However, I guess to push the conversation a little bit more is how does this get rectified? Is it solely like Rose was saying internally? So it's a personal work and that's the only way it's going to be accomplished? Or is there something like as far as us, like big bros, big kinfolk, whatever the case may be, putting somebody under our wing and saying, come with me, I got you, you need to do this. Like what can we do or can we not do anything? And it's just solely on the individual, because I do agree that there are traumas and there's things that everybody got to deal with. And there's things that make people run or hide. But again, also, and we talked about this way back, you don't always have to be rebellious or hard-headed. And sometimes we do that just because we want to learn our own way or go through our own thing, or just because we don't want to listen to our parents or whoever the authoritative figure is in our lives. So I'm just kind of like, because I know what y'all saying and I get what y'all saying and what y'all saying ain't wrong, but something has to be done in order to elevate us fully as a culture, because this ain't just about like street shit and my mentee dying or whatever the case may be. Like I said, it's just like when I walk around and I see Black excellence, but I don't see the excellence part because we choose not to be, because a man want to be sagging and a girl want to be, looking like 40 cents basically. Got a whole bottle in the hand, a whole $50 bottle in the hand, but look like she, still got sleep in her eyes and white around her mouth and all this other stuff. And then the dude sagging and they splitting a cigarette and just sitting outside. Like, why don't we elevate? And so that's just like, what can we do? What can we do?
I mean, it's a lot just to kind of put that out there. But I think from just our perspectives, when you think about having a platform like this or any other thing that we do professionally or personally that's, that we feel is within our purpose or that aligns with other people that are walking within their purpose, I think it starts there. But to your point is, some way, somehow we have to crack this Da Vinci Code to where we understand that, well, now, how can I put this? So like just cracking that Da Vinci Code just to understand that everybody has things that they have to focus on. Nobody's perfect. So there's not any particular ethnicity or any group of people that's just like, this is a model citizen, right? But when you look at how strong and how powerful that we are just from years over years, it has to be some way that we would get back to realizing that particular dominance and superiority amongst everyone. But I only see that you just have to literally change your environment, because we're all have been product of our environments, whether that's for better or for worse. And I think culturally, that's just what we have to do, is that the people that are able to help others, quit judging. For the people that are natural leaders, be a leader, right? For the people that are naturally followers, be a great follower, but follow someone that you inspire to be. And if you don't have any, aspirations of wanting to be anything different, why is that? Because everybody has a purpose here. You just have to find it. So I think I really would take it upon the leaders within our communities to really step up, listen, to understand, not to just respond, and help those that are truthfully in need, because common sense isn't so common, and everybody wasn't blessed with the opportunity to have the mindset to be able to get through that trauma that you've dealt with in your life. It's going to take counseling. It's going to take real mentors. And sometimes it's going to take real life situations, because we all have been hard-headed and had to experience it ourselves. But for me, I would say, to answer your question, is less judging and more loving, to find out what people are really going through so that we could really push them to a better person. And it has nothing to do with anything financially. It's, do you feel loved? Do you feel protected? Do you feel respected? When you operate in that particular lens, you're the best version of yourself. And if not, we know you need some additional help. And that's fine as well. But we just got to, for me, I would think people just need to quit judging to push our culture forward.
Yeah, the question kind of is one that pops in my mind is, do they even know better? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the example you got, the whole family that has lived in the projects, projects for years on top of years on top of years, and you end up with a generation of people that stand in the project. Like, yeah, grandmama stay in 837. You got your auntie in 836. You got cousins in 834. You got somebody else that stay over at C29 that's kin to. You got this whole generation of family that live in this one area. But nobody never taught them, or nobody in their family ever went out and bought a house, or do they know how to go out, save money, get your credit right to even be able to purchase a home or something like that. Or, you got a whole list. And I heard these stories also where you get a whole family that's either in a gang, and everybody in their family is in this particular gang, and nobody in their family has ever went outside a 10-mile radius of their neighborhood. So like D.Rose saying, is like you gotta show people a certain way. If you got people that's in there, you gotta show them a different way. You gotta leave that environment so you know that it is attainable, that it is achievable, that there is another way of living, to be able to do that, which is sad sometimes, because sometimes you can't drag people out of there, and they got to be something within them also that want it. Like you can always try to teach them and guide them, but if you don't spark whatever it is in them to want that, then they will stay where they at. As a culture, to be honest with you, I think it's a tug of war right now for us, because you got both sides. You are seeing that side where it's uplifting and encouraging, and you're seeing more Black people that are owning more homes, owning more businesses, and we got more millionaires and things like that going on. But then you got a tug of war with this other group, with the other side is like, I gotta prove I'm hard 24/7. I don't care nothing about life, and babies out here killing babies, and I call them babies. You can be 24, but you still a baby. You ain't really lived no life. You know what I'm saying? You still got a lot of play. You got a lot of growing to do. Give example, like if I'm just gonna give Jay-Z as an example. If Jay-Z would have died when he sold drugs, we never would have got the manufacturer Jay-Z that we have now. That's this great businessman, great record exec, yeah, billionaire, and all this good stuff that's going on. So we got a lot of babies out there that need to know that, they are loved, they are cared for, that they have a place in this world outside of, sitting on the corner sagging, not washing my face, and looking crazy, and don't think they can really get a regular job that can make decent money, that can take them out of the situations they in, or jump out there and do what it is that they really love, whether you be a great singer. Because there's a lot of people out there that have a talent, and the talent is known, but nobody ever, told them that their talent was great for them. I gave them opportunity to, here go $30 to take a bus ride to somewhere else so you can go sing in front of this group, or act, or whatever it is, acting class, or whatever it is that that they're great at.
No, that's real. That's real. So with changing the narrative, also that also means that we have to do more of shining a light on the good versus the negative, the positive versus the negative. So we all know that negative sells, though. Negative is what people feed off of. Negative is what, you know, people gravitate to for some reason. So what ideas or what ways would you suggest in letting the positive be seen, if y'all have any?
I say just off the top of my head, when these people, especially because social media holds a heavy impact in today's world, I would say that these people stop showing from when I was broke and straight rich. Show that grind in between there. Don't just pop up with this, with this McLaren and it's 50, 70,000, $80,000 car. No, show that grind of getting to that place. Just don't go from, hey, I was broke, and then all of a sudden I'm driving a $100,000 car. No, show that grind in between there. I think that's where a lot of folks get messed up too, and they think that these people are living this luxurious life online that just popped up or whatever on social media, instead of showing the grind of how they got there. Or all these people just straight up lying on social media as well, and they ain't got what they really claim they get. I like to give example. I like what DJ Envy and Flipping J is doing, and then they would take you through the whole process of purchasing a home and flipping it, and the pitfalls and all that you can fall into. We need more stuff like that. Regardless if you're trying to whatever it is you're trying to do in life, and you just trying to be a supervisor at your job, there's gonna be some pitfalls today. You're not gonna walk into the building and be a regular rep one day or a line leader on the line one day and just hop up to the manager. They ain't how it works. It's a whole process to that. And I think if us as people start showing that it is a grind to this, there is pitfalls, but don't doubt, just keep working hard and you will get there. I think that will help out and encourage them as well, encourage people as well, because we all been in a situation where somebody tell you something on how to do something, but they don't tell you the pitfalls, and you fall into that pitfall. You like, man, this ain't nothing like you said. You said this was gonna be easy gravy train, and then people kind of back out from that. So I think we need to start being truthful. I think people need to stop believing all this social media crap that's on here, do their own research. And I think we need to show that grind of how to be successful and not just popping up and say, oh, I'm successful, look at me, and you can be like me too. Nah, they ain't how none of this work. You selling these people a fake world. It's fugazi, everything's a process. Everything comes with a process. You just can't jump off the porch from being broke and then being a millionaire. Man, unless you a rapper or a singer and you on YouTube and you get 2 million views and get signed the next day, but that don't happen. That's a 0.99% chance of that happening. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with you with the let's start celebrating the grind and not the shine so much, because I really feel like the shine should be bringing in and bringing about more people. And I just kind of like using the example for us is like, look at how our process is going from where we started in February with the YouTube, the Instagram, Facebook, and just the following. We're gonna always share this story of where it started at. Like how this video looks now is not how it will look next year when we're doing it. Like how many followers, you know what I'm saying? So it's the real grind, but again, just making that the comfortable part, because I just think and I hate to turn to it because it helps so many people change their entire life. But the entertainment industry plays a huge part in how people view that whole, they raised riches overnight. The fast money lifestyle puts this whole method in front of it. Like, oh man, they was just broke the other day. They were. And I promise you, They got 3 to 6 months and them feds on the way. So it's just like, start like realizing that it's okay to grind. Like, I love where you got that at. Like, let's start respecting the grind more, man, and just talk about the story and quit. Like you said, quit flogging. Like, everybody ain't really having it like that. Trust me, I made an investment at the end of the year and lost on one, made another investment, and that turned out pretty right. I mean, that's just the draw of it. But at the end of the day, I could have risked everything just to get it all back off of losing it. But you got to grind. You just have to grind, and we have to start respecting that more. And that goes into, we love the teachers, we love the good hard workers that's in the factories, love the nurses, the judges, the people that are in politics, for the people that are using their money that's in the entertainment industry to better other people, to buy things. No matter what you do, there was a grind to it. And start respecting that and making that cool, so people, I ain't gonna say for people, for the kids especially, or the younger people that's finding themselves, it ain't gonna happen overnight.
I got a good example of somebody, and if they still get all this up, Cardi B is the perfect example. If we didn't have social media, if she didn't document it like she did, you would have thought she was an overnight celebrity. But no, Cardi B, before she was famous, was on Instagram, no makeup, jacked up teeth, and just talking about regular life and giving her thoughts on it to where she is now. That girl wasn't making too much. She was making money, but she wasn't making nothing near like she is now. Her whole grind has been documented. And I think more people ought to do that. They ought to document that if they want to show the shine. Well, talk about the days you sat at the house crying because your lights got cut off, or talk about, like you said, D-Rose, you invest in something and you took a loss on it, or that one time you thought you were gonna start your restaurant, the first time you made an attempt to start a restaurant, and that flopped, and this is your third or fourth one, and this one is successful. I think we just give people a chance and quit judging and give them a chance and know that, you can do better, and don't ridicule them off 1 and 2, 3, maybe even 3 mistakes. Don't do that. You're not where you used to be 10 years ago. Everybody made mistakes in their life. Nobody's perfect. We got to quit bashing and trying to kill folks over a couple of mistakes they made, and give them the opportunity to correct that mistake and let them know that they can do better without being. And what happens sometimes, and I learned from a lot of older people, that they will bash you to the point where you don't want to do better. So we got to quit bashing people and being like, you can be hard on them. It can be tough love, but don't bash and ridicule and you can't never do nothing right and this and another. That kills a lot of spirits of kids as well. And we got to be better parents on that for those who do have kids in those situations like that. Your kids make a mistake, you can't bash them and just be like, oh, you just like your daddy and their daddy been in jail. Or you just like your mama and their mama walked out and left them. That plants a seed in their mind that I can't do better than what this parent that did wrong, or my uncle or my cousin or whatever did wrong. They plant that seed. So in their mind, they can't do any better because you already told them that they just liked him, and they end up going down that road.
Yeah. I think Cardi B was a heck of a hustler. But the two people that I look at when I think about that real rags to riches is Eric Thomas and and Tyler Perry. Like, anytime I'm looking at a story and I just think about coming from nothing, homeless, to something, and they are prominent figures in our community, them are the two people I look at. Eric Thomas.
There's a lot of people out there. Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Nipsey before his untimely death.
Yeah.
He's documented for his grind also. So it's a lot of people do the research that was out here really, really struggling and made it to where they at now.
Yep.
So to answer my own question and to add something else in there, I would say we gotta tone down sharing all the ratchet shit and start sharing the the real shit. And what I mean by real shit, I mean is by we got to start sharing like the Tamika Mallory's and Stacey Abrams and the neighbor who just started their business, or the Flakes who shirt and clothing company and all this other stuff. We got to start sharing stuff like that versus sharing the fight all the time, or when spreading the untimely death of some of our soldiers or whatnot, like King Von video and different things like that. And we got to start, putting out the good things and the good deeds that, some of these brothers and sisters are doing and the average person is doing. And then we also have to, I'm in total agreement with y'all about showing the grind, but to even take it a little step further, we have to stop sharing so much of the words that people say, because I see a lot of people post, things where it's a screenshot of somebody's tweet or somebody's post or a manifestation of something somebody said, but if they're not showing you the work behind it, sometimes words are just words and they're not filled with nothing and don't have no meaning or purpose behind it. So you saying, oh, I want to do this and I want to be like this person, but that person in the back door struggling or ain't even really about that life or doing none of the stuff that they claim to be doing or whatnot. So they might have the right words, but you aspiring to be like somebody who really ain't shit. So therefore, we have to start, making sure people doing the work and, holding ourselves accountable to do the work. And then again, I just say, like Rose said earlier, spread love and not hate, start doing more upliftment versus beaten down, but then also start polluting our atmosphere with more positive versus negative. And a lot of times all we do is pollute it with negative, or we talking about the same old shit that really don't got nothing to do with nothing, that ain't gonna help us propel to where we trying to be or to where we need to go. So that would be my answer to the question. If y'all have anything else that y'all want to add or any questions that y'all have off the top of y'all head about this topic, just go right ahead or whatnot.
This is my last little take on this. From my perspective, another thing, money is a tool that you can use, but that not make the person that has it real. If anybody could trust me, I think everybody done been fooled by the whole illusion about this person got money. Nah, because I've heard somebody say to me the other day, we was having a real conversation, me and my homeboys, and they was like, oh yeah, bro actually telling the truth about what's going on, but ain't nobody gonna listen because he broke. And I said, boy, if that's where society is, we in trouble. Because money does not make you real, and that does not make your purpose. You align with your purpose. I know a lot of crooks with bread that don't do nothing for nobody besides get over. So that was one thing. That was even for myself, because we can all get caught up in that. Money does not make you real. So just, oh, he broke. If he doesn't have that by choice, that man got a good heart, you may be in tune what he really got going on. He probably gonna give you way more gems than little buddy that got the $5,000 shoes on, that don't even want to talk, don't want to rap about nothing, ain't gonna give you nothing about nothing. It's gonna fill your glass, but you gonna respect it because he got bread. That don't make it, trust me.
I mean, and that goes back to one of the episodes that we discussed, the OG, the real OG.
Yeah.
Them be the real OGs. The real OGs don't really be the millionaires and driving fancy cars and stuff. The real OGs usually be the one that got a regular 9 to 5, they got 2 jobs, they take care of their kids, and they talking to you about the mistakes that maybe that was made and telling you how to do better. And with this most of this younger generation, I'll be honest with you, a lot of them they just into the money. They believe everybody with some money, And a lot of people, you don't know how loud some of these people got money. Some of these people, like I said, some of these people got short grind. Some of them don't know that 45 was gifted millions of dollars. It wasn't no come up from the grind on how he got his money. Or Kylie Jenner was gifted millions of dollars to do what she do. And if you gifted millions of dollars, be honest with you, I really don't want to hear what you got to say. Because you didn't really grind. You was gifted some money and took a gamble with somebody else's money. It's easy to take a gamble on somebody else with somebody else's money. Now, but if you got somebody out there who get it through the mud, that's blue collar with dirt on their nails, those are the people, regardless if they got $1 million house or a $75,000 house or staying in an apartment. Them people got valuable knowledge and they got jewels that they can give for for you to better your life. So sometimes you got to recognize who the real OGs are and take a listen. And a lot of them can show you the way on being successful and turning your life around and not standing on the corner. Or where we grew up at, standing on the railroad tracks on gears.
Hair dry.
You still stand on them tracks. I'm like, gee, you stand on these tracks when I was in high school. I'm 7, 8 years out of high school. You still standing on the track. Gee.
Block babies. Yeah, but yeah, man.
Well, that's really all I had. If y'all have another quick little topic or subject y'all want to bring up or whatnot, that was all I had. I really want us to, and when I say us, I'm not talking about us because we do it and we try to make it intentional and imperative that we do it. But I really want our listeners and our people in our culture to really just know that we got to change the narrative, and not for nobody else, not because of nobody else, but for ourselves. So like Rose said, for them kids, but not even for them kids, for me, for you, for Flake, for our parents, for our grandparents. We have to change that narrative because if we don't exude excellence, that will always be a reason or excuse to always be the victim. And one, we not victims, but two, also we have to demand from ourselves greatness because if we don't, nobody else will. And so
Yep.
I just want us to change the narrative on a lot of things and to push out there a lot of different things versus just the negative and the bullshit and the statistics and the stereotypical shit and everything, and just make sure that we being great and that we going at people's necks in the right way and being great, by being black, by being powerful, by being power, strength, beauty, everything. And so the epitome of greatness. So that's what I want to do that's what I would like to see from our people, and I would like our people to get to because it's already in us. We just got to get back to it. But again, we just got to change the narrative and just speak that positive shit and put that positive stuff in the atmosphere.
Completely agree, brother. I have nothing else. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, if y'all ain't got nothing, I'm about to jump into the Black Business Minute for this week.
Cool.
The Black Business Minute for this week is a Black-owned drive-in Houston, Texas, called Space City Shows. It was founded by, and please forgive me, sir, if I butcher your name, but Kari Sharif. But I believe that's right. If one of y'all want to check it and see if y'all pronounce it right or better, but Kari Sharif, he's only 26-year-old. He decided to found this drive-in movie theater because he wanted to go to the movies, but he didn't want to be around strangers and catch COVID. And so it was during the quarantine that his mind started tinkering and he put his mind to work and he opened up a drive-in movie theater in the 3rd Ward. And again, he doing his research, this wasn't just something that he just went out there and did. He did his research during the quarantine. He found out, getting movie licenses, the liability and all this other stuff to operate his business and to make it a successful business versus something that's just going to start up and then he'll be out of business in a month or in a couple of weeks or so. So shout out to the young king, Kari Sharif, and Space City shows. So if you're ever in Houston, Texas, and go to the Third Ward and you're trying to catch a movie, especially during this time, and you're not trying to be around people, and you're trying to stay safe, you know, your vehicle is your own seats, and you could also pull up, a lawn chair or a type of chair and set it in front of your vehicle. But again, you're compact to yourself and not around a whole bunch of people or whatnot. So Space Shitty shows. That's the Black Business Minute. Salute to you, King.
Salute. I gotta go check that out too.
Yeah, next time I'm out there, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Salute to that. Salute to that. Our Supremely Black Person of the Week goes to Rashida Jones. She has been hired as Senior Vice President at MSNBC, and that will start February 1st of 2021. She attended the HBCU, Howard University. We're going to go through her grind a little bit because she just didn't pop up in this position. She majored in broadcasting, and in 2002, she was a senior in college. She produced at WTKR in Norfolk, Virginia. After several years of working there, she also moved over to being the weekend producer at the Weather Channel for the as the director of live programming back in 2009. Later, she worked as a news director in Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina. Then she made that move to fly and see what happened. And she busted a move up to New York, where she became an executive producer in the daytime shows for MSNBC. So sometimes you got to go out there and you got to jump out that nest and fly and take a chance. And she did that. And she started as a daytime producer at MSNBC, and now she has moved up to senior vice president at MSNBC, the first Black and also first Black woman to ever be a vice president for MSNBC. So big up to Rashida Jones. Congratulations, Queen. We appreciate what you are doing and changing the narrative.
Salute. That's dope.
Salute to you, Miss Rashida Jones. Y'all got anything to leave the
Yes,
people?
we wrap it up.
We wrapping it up. This was just some lyrics that stood out when we was having this conversation. It was from Nipsey, man. He was like, most of the time when it rains, it starts pouring, but how we grind and make the weather change for us. We roll through, but we never change for them. So smile for us when you see us riding for them. That's all I got, man. That just hit me. I don't know why, but yeah, that's my jaunt there.
Yeah, I probably need to play some Nipsey, man, to get me out this.
It got me right today because I was in that same slump you was in.
Yeah, that Nipsey be motivation.
Motivation, boy. Yeah, him and Crick get you up out of it every time for me. That's all I had, though, man.
And speaking of Nip, I just seen something today that his estate was valued at $4.1 million right now. So salute to him and his kids he left behind and his lady and his family or whatnot. So shout out to them, and the marathon continues. I know 4.1 million won't be the end of it. It's gonna steady grow and it's gonna keep growing, and just keep looking down on us and rest easy, King. Rest easy. What I'm gonna leave for the people is know your worth, know your power, know what you bring to the table, and exude that shit. Show that shit. And live in your truth and in your greatness. And that's all I got for you.
For all my queens out there, Miss Rashida Jones done showed y'all. Y'all need to put y'all crown on. Tip that thing to the side. Let them know you are a queen. For all my kings out there, put your crown on. Tilt that thing to the side. Let them know you are a king. We are supremely black, and we are out. Love y'all.